If I could buy a potato from the store and plant it in my garden, will it produce more potatoes? I like that question. This is Kim in Steele, South Carolina. All right, Miss Kim, we're going to hear from Peter on this, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, Peter?
So can you?
Can you?
Yes, but. So store-bought potatoes have a couple of problems. First one is that they're often treated with a chemical that keeps the eyes from sprouting. That way they last longer on the store shelves and don't start growing in the grocery store.
Retardant is what that's called. Yep.
Yeah, and so you may have a hard time getting your potato to sprout.
That's right.
So that's one thing.
That's one thing.
If you can get it to sprout, it will probably grow.
Right.
But that brings in the second one, and that is that we highly recommend that you buy seed potatoes because seed potatoes have been tested to not have disease.
There you go.
And so they are certified as disease-free. And that you're not, every time you put a potato from the store in the ground, you're not going to get this disease. But every once in a while you might. And the problem is that these diseases stay in the soil for years and make it so you cannot grow potatoes in that area for possibly decades. And so if you're willing to risk that, you could do it. But I'd recommend seed potatoes. They also are usually a better size for planting. They tend to be smaller, whereas you know in the grocery store they're trying to give you the biggest potato you can get. But the two diseases that really kill you with potatoes are Phytophthora, that's a root rot, and then potato scab. Now you think, well, they grow potatoes year after year after year in like Idaho. And they do, but they go through. But they go through, and they actually they treat the soil with chemicals that, as homeowners, we can't get.
Right.
And so they can do that. We can't. So yes, I would recommend seed potatoes if you can get them.
If you can get them, I would recommend that. Yeah, but it's always nice to experiment. You just want to experiment just to see if it works. But yeah. That's good, Peter. Have you done this before?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured he has. So what was your success rate? I mean, did they actually sprout? Did you?
So actually in the square foot garden a couple years ago, since we were planting potatoes in the fall, it's hard to find seed potatoes in the fall.
Right, okay.
And so we ended up having to go to the grocery store and get potatoes from there. And they sprouted and they eyed and they grew for a while and then they did not produce, they died. I don't think it had anything to do with the potato. I think it was environmental conditions.
But you try.
Something else is if you do want to use those potatoes, you might want to, the store-bought potatoes, you might want to try growing them in a raised bed or a barrel or something like that. That way, if you do have a problem, you can just dig all the soil out, throw it out in the woods, fill it with new soil, and go again.